Okay. My... CM Punk. Like, we're going to talk about him.
Okay.
Are
we going to do an intro at all?
No, my issue is... Welcome to Juicy Nose Fest. My issue is, I wanted him to go to New Japan.
Okay.
And by the sounds of his podcast, I thought he was going to go. I really did.
Yep.
Because he kept talking about that WrestleMania moment that he wanted.
Yep.
He's like, oh, my moment. Mind you, like you said earlier, wrestling The Undertaker is a WrestleMania moment in my eyes.
It was... No, it's not a... It was the WrestleMania moment.
I like how he's like... He complained that Triple H gave him a compliment. Oh, he told me I stole the show.
Yeah.
Well, you did.
Yeah,
So what's your problem? What more do you want?
I know, and apparently this is the guy who's never liked you. He says, Triple H never liked me. He comes up to you, you stole the show.
I know. What? You're a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you.
I fucking hate that guy. No. Smarmy Triple H.
Smarmy! My issue is that whole fucking podcast sounded like a whinge session.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not a whinge session, it's not a WWE bashing. Well, what was it?
Well, this is what it was to me. Every time you want to say something that you know is going to upset someone and you're saying it with absolutely no respect whatsoever, how do you start it off?
No offence, but...
Yeah, no offence or no disrespect.
Yeah, which he said 20 times.
Which means offence and disrespect are coming. By him starting going, this is not a WWE bashing session, what does that mean it's going to be? A WWE bashing session. And that's what it was.
I just feel like it was just a plug for what he's planning for the future, and that annoyed me. Well, now it annoys me more that he ended up on UFC, and he mentioned them like 10 times.
Yeah, I wanted to walk out this person on UFC. And then Hunter's doing it, it's boxing. I mean, well...
Floyd Money Mayweather, who wants to walk out with him?
Yeah, not me, that guy's a dick.
He is a dick. I really hate how he puts up his bets all the time on Instagram. I don't care that you won 500 grand. That's not me. I'm not winning it.
Did you see 50 Cent call him out about being...
Yeah, he can't read!
That was hilarious.
Fuck. Would he offer $1 million to charity if he could read?
If he could read a book. A page of like a Dr. Zeus book.
That's amazing. I wonder why he can't read. Because he's stupid.
Punch in the head. Well, yeah, he never gets hit, does he? So.
I've got to say, my favourite part of the two parts of the Punk podcast.
Yeah.
Not that I liked much of it, but my favourite was when Punk goes, he said to Ryback, did you do it on purpose or you dumb as fuck? I'm dumb as fuck. Because that's how I pictured it. 100%.
Yeah.
My other one was when he said to Colt, and then I got myself a Jewish lawyer. Muzzle tough.
My thing with it was, Ryback came out and said he's never confronted me about it. And
but that's wrestling. Like, I can tell you from a professional standpoint,
yeah,
that no one confronts anyone. It's all backstabbing bullshit, and it would be the same at the top level. It really would be.
But doesn't that show you that everything he said you have to take it with a grain of salt?
I think even more so after the UFC stuff. Because he was all of a sudden there. Like, he made it like it was a great fucking lost land he'll never reach.
Yeah.
And then he was there. Why didn't you go to New Japan? I want to see him versus Nakamura.
Well, I didn't think he'd ever wrestle again. I think me and you took different things. Because he was like, I hate wrestling. It's the worst. Wrestling shit.
You know
what my favourite part of the podcast
tell me,
was?
Please.
When he's like, I had this thing on my back, and I'm like, cut it out. And they're like, no, we'll just give you antibiotics. And then when I quit, I finally saw another doctor. You have millions of fucking dollars.
Go to a doctor.
Get a second opinion. Like, this doctor, he didn't cut it out. He treated me really badly. Why? Because he was wrong?
Yeah,
A doctor's
doctors
omnipotent?
are wrong all the time.
I mean,
Inflammable. Is that the word I'm looking for? What's God?
Omnipotent.
You know, it's another one. Something about flames.
Infallible?
Yeah, that's the one. You get me? I at the start, I listened to it like a mark, and I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Fuck WWE and Triple H. And then I was like, well, come on.
Like, what were his complaints, though? His complaints were...
His elbow hurt.
Yeah.
My elbow hurts.
His complaints were the complaints of a disgruntled employee. I didn't get as high as I think I should have gone. Well, you know what? Virgil probably never got as high as he thought he should have gone either.
No one would have, except Hogan.
You know, no, Hogan probably thinks he should have gotten bigger for longer.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, he understands. He's not a dumb person.
Who, CM Punk?
Yeah, he understands how wrestling works. So that's why I'm very surprised. He's like, I don't know why they brought back two guys and gave them the Rumble, and then went, but it's not about win-loss ratio. Then what's your problem?
Why
You're still getting paid.
Yeah.
You're still wrestling the guys you pretty much want to wrestle, except for Ryback, apparently. So, like, I've had to wrestle people I don't want to wrestle. You just do. Like, you just do it.
Yeah.
That's work.
Yeah.
Well, that's your job. Sometimes you have to wrestle shit.
Well, your job's not supposed to be fun. You don't get paid for having fun.
And he's like, I had to go to Europe. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Some of us have not been.
Yeah. And here's my... Oh, I had so many issues. Every time I
Please.
mentioned Triple H, I had an issue. But that's because I'm a mark.
Triple H is a god.
He's like, so Triple H is like, I'll go check the dates and see if I can move them. Goes, checks, finds out he can't move them, goes, okay, Randy Orton's been in... Well, why didn't you call me? You needy fucking bitch, why do you need to be called?
But I don't understand why he's like, I don't want to be in no shit movie, and then they put me in a movie and I was really upset that I wasn't in it.
Yeah. He went back and forth. He changed his story a lot, and it really upset me that everyone's like, yeah, fuck the WWE.
Fuck the man! Like, I'm really struggling to understand more so now after. Yeah. And then that second podcast came out that was meant to be a U-shoot.
Yeah. A Q&A.
And what happened?
Nothing. No, they started.
Because you know why people would have said, "What does AJ's shit funnel taste like?" That would have been the first fucking question.
Yeah, I think they would have skipped that one.
And what does Batista's dick look like?
Why does that come up all the time?
Apparently, he's got a massive dick like Lenny Poffo.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you know Lenny Poffo can suck his own dick?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's a good story.
I would never leave home.
No, neither would I.
It tastes amazing. Put some fucking chicken salt on it. It would have been excellent.
Speaking of an old school guy, like Lanny Poffo, which I think is a compliment to Lanny Poffo, I'm an old... I like to think of myself as an old school guy.
Okay.
The schedule is too much for me in wrestling.
Oh!
What the fuck? An old school guy would never come out and say, wrestling's not real.
You know... Oh, fuck, when you said that, I was just like, are you fucking insane? Like, I once said it by accident on a TV show.
Yeah.
I rang them and I'm like, if you don't remove that, we're going to have issues. I'm like, I'll come down and see you personally. You need to remove me saying that. Because it just slipped, and as soon as it slipped in my head, I'm like, fuck. You don't do it. You don't say it. I don't even like the fact we're talking about it.
Well, we're just talking about the fact that he said it.
And it's ridiculous. You'd never say it. The reason wrestling works is because of suspension of disbelief.
That's right. Yeah.
So you can't... It's like a magician going, oh, the fucking rabbit's in my hat. And you're like, I don't want to see any more tricks. What an asshole.
Exactly. Yeah,
he just ruined everyone else's fucking party. Because he's a prick. He's the type of person who fucking enjoys other people's misery.
He sits there and says, I'm not a nice guy. And that's just how they are. I don't care about other people. And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. No, that's not just the way it is. Yeah, you're rich and you're successful. It doesn't give you carte blanche to be a...
No, but the thing is, people I've spoken to have all said he's always just been miserable. Doesn't matter what he's done, he's just been a miserable prick. So he's just a miserable prick.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And
it just... I just don't understand how... I didn't give my WrestleMania moment. What more do you want?
You wrestled Taker. Do you understand how many...
I know.
You, of course, understand. How many did Taker go? 21 and 1?
21.
Okay.
9 plus 10.
21. So, I'm going to say 22 people. I know some were doubles and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's say 18, 19 people had the privilege of wrestling and losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You were one of a group of a dozen and a half.
Yeah.
How many people had WrestleMania fucking main event moments? 60.
He just... Well, not really. I don't count The Miz and John Cena's matches at WrestleMania.
I like The Miz.
That was fucking terrible.
I can't even remember it.
The one where Miz got knocked out after the guardrail bump. He smacked his head on the fucking concrete.
Okay, I can't even remember
Why didn't it kill him? That's my question.
I like The Miz.
No, you don't.
He's the only reason that your mate Sandow's getting any work right now.
No, Sandow's making that happen. That's amazing. That is an amazing gimmick.
I love that they're the tag team champions and he's got stunt belts.
Yeah.
That's great.
My issue with CM Punk, again, is he's like, oh, writers didn't know what they're doing week by week. Welcome to the real world. Does he forget indie wrestling? I rock up to shows and they're like, you're doing this tonight. I'm like, oh, fuck, thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
That's wrestling. I think we can fucking say that's what happens. Then, even though they've got probably 15 to 20 writers, they're not all going to have great ideas.
No.
And shit's gonna fail. It happens on TV shows. You're like, oh, this episode's shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You watch The Simpsons sometimes, you're like, not the best episode. Same with Seinfeld. You're like, you just have to trial and error shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure when Sandown walked up to him with the idea, they would have been like, no fucking way are you just bumping for no reason. But it works, you know?
It does, it's hilarious.
And then I'm sure when they sat down and said, oh, Shockmaster's going to be amazing.
And it just didn't work.
Shit happens.
Yeah. I like to think he was like, oh, I had all these great ideas, and then what are the ideas he this? Oh, I was going to get sponsors.
No. Amazing, making more money for yourself.
That's not a good... It's like, oh, the guys in the back won't be happy. Of course they won't be happy.
And you know what? The way wrestling works, who's going to want to sponsor a heel? Who's sponsoring Rusev? Fucking Malaysian Airlines?
Putin? Russia?
Yeah, I'm sure Putin's going to put his face on fucking Rusev's ass. Mind you, Rusev, the greatest heel in a long time.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay, why isn't he any good?
I'm not saying he's not good.
He's Russian. Amazing already.
Yeah.
He has a hot valet.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't like it with her hair pulled back.
I'd like to pull her hair back, though. And she was in Pitch Perfect. Are you fucking...
What?
Yeah, Lana's in Pitch Perfect.
What scene?
Lana's in Pitch Perfect. IMDb it right now.
No, why don't you just be more fucking
Because I don't know what scene, but she's in Pitch Perfect.
You've seen Pitch Perfect as many times as I have, and you haven't.
I don't know which one she is, but she's in it. Lana is in Pitch Perfect.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
And Playboy.
Why are you getting so aggressive about
it? Because people are like, no, everyone. Why would I lie? Like, I'm succeeding from the downloads of fucking Pitch Perfect. She's in it.
When a young man downloads Pitch Perfect, we all win.
Yeah, we do. I think Pitch Perfect's a good movie.
It is. I'm stoked for Pitch Perfect too.
Yes. Anyway, back to my story about Rusev being the greatest heel alive.
Okay.
The greatest heel in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Can you name a better one?
I don't know.
Classic heel.
He's a really good 80s... He's a really good 80s heel. And I know I should be all over it right now because I love that stuff. I don't know.
He's amazing.
He's good. I don't know. Was Bad News Barrett a heel or was he like an anti-face? Is that a term?
Douchebag.
Anti-face?
I enjoyed when his fucking lift broke.
I'm afraid I've got some bad
But when it broke,
he's
like, my lift has broken.
Yeah. I don't know. Best heel? I don't know.
Best heel in 10 years.
In 10 years.
Rusev.
Lesnar squashing Cena was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but then Cena doing the promo at the end. Oh, I might not be back from this. You're meant to be dead, mate. No one's bled on WWE for 5 years. Oh, no, not...
Wait, what?
I'm talking the first time they met.
Oh,
at Extreme Rules.
Okay, yeah.
And
I just thought about when he got fucking
suplex
37 times.
Amazing.
That was good.
He should have died.
It's a bit harsh, but
he's
got a wife.
You can see how gassed he's getting. He's like...
Yeah.
I don't want to bump anymore. That's me from the start. But point is, I would like to see Rusev Hogan at WrestleMania.
Yes, you told me that might be happening.
I heard it might be, but now The Rock's pulled out of WrestleMania.
Why?
I have a feeling Hogan will too. I have a feeling it won't be big enough for both. But
The Rock's big enough for one.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's not a 30 or a 20 or a 25.
Yeah. Man, if I got to see Hogan wrestle at WrestleMania at my first ever live
that
WrestleMania...
would be amazing. Have you ever seen Hogan wrestle live?
Yes.
Where?
Because I was at the same tour you danced at.
Oh, do you remember me?
Yes, I do. I remember a guy dancing and then you're like, that was me. And I'm like, okay.
That was me. It really was me.
Yeah.
Hogan.
Did you get paid well for that?
So Hogan is really...
That's a yes.
No, it just happened. I didn't...
Oh, you were just pulled out of the crowd.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. You just happened to be there.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah. Point is, Rusev Hogan, I think, would be a great Mania moment. Especially if Rusev kicked him in the head.
How do you get Hogan to work?
You don't.
What? He can't bump.
Yeah, none of them can.
Okay, so he can't bump.
He doesn't have to.
He can't throw the big boot anymore.
Goes to the big boot. Lana grabs his leg. Rusev kick. 1, 2, 3. Rusev ultimate heel.
Yeah, I guess you can't really have him do any more than that. Does that even have to be a match?
Can't he
just beat him down?
Maybe Putin does a run in.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That'd
I feel like we're off topic though.
Okay, what were we talking? So back to CM Punk.
Back to CM Punk.
I felt his podcast was a big advertisement for the Colt Cabana podcast, which a lot of people don't like.
I don't.
They don't like Colt.
No, I don't.
And they find he's very... my back. Like he's... like he's... oh, Jesus. Like he brings up himself all the time.
Yes.
They're like, I was wrestling. I remember wrestling. Okay, cool.
Did you see...
Like he kept talking about himself in WWE.
Yeah,
you were there for a cup of coffee, mate. 2 weeks.
Did you see the tweet that Cody Rhodes sent out?
No, please.
Because you know how Cody Rhodes' Twitter is like really private.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It has no pictures of him. It's like called... I don't... It's Hyrule Warrior or something like that. He's a big Zelda fan. Anyway, he came out and said, because Colt Cabana was like, he made it in the wrestling business. And then Cody Rhodes sent him a tweet right after the CM Punk thing. I said, things I learned this week. You can have a podcast about wrestling without ever making it in wrestling. It was amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
There was a few good tweets after the CM Punk interview. My point is, CM Punk is going to get fed a jobber at UFC and go over for the pay-per-view buys. Simple.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he gets fed a jobber, but the jobber actually has fight experience.
Kimura.
Yeah, the jobber actually has fighting
And
experience
breaks his elbow.
and just fucking destroys him.
Imagine he's out in 2 seconds.
Lesnar lost his first fight.
Yeah, I know. Terrible.
Yeah. But he wasn't fed. Frank Mir.
Let's be honest.
Like, Frank Mir was a good fighter back in his time. I don't know. I think it's really interesting, this UFC thing. And you should go and look at the top 10 UFC fighters that Dando and I did. Cross promotion. Oh, we're not stopping there.
Yeah.
Oh, surely you should have the last word.
No, I might have diarrhea soon, so I should start getting home.